Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat Sports YouTube channel for another edition, episode 8 of Tru Heel Heat Check. And after all these months, starting the season in October 2022, we are here in June, coming up tomorrow, June 1st. 2023. It's May 31st, 2023, and we have made it to the NBA Finals. I am not joined by Chris G, hardworking man, the birthday boy. Happy belated to him. I am joined by the sixth man of the Tru Heel Heat Check cast here. Tru Heel Heat Check's resident Knicks fan and Laker hater, Romeo Anthony Cologne. How you doing?
Good intro. I think you nailed it. I think you got everything you needed to get there. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Wonderful, beautiful Wednesday afternoon on the eve of the NBA Finals. Let's go. This is going to be a good one.
I am looking forward to it. I hope all of you are as well. We're here to preview the NBA Finals, go over the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. And of course, we are here to hear from all of you. Thank you for joining us on Tru Heel Heat Check. Remember to drop the thumbs up on this video, share this video with all your wrestling. Oh, excuse me. I'm so used to that. All your basketball and sports fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you're new to Tru Heel Heat Sports, come on, hit that subscribe button. We are just 8 subscribers away from 400 subscribers here on the Tru Heel Heat Sports YouTube channel. Coming up, we're just a few weeks away from our 1-year anniversary of starting Tru Heel Heat Sports. So it would be great if we can hit that 400 subscribers. A nice round number to celebrate 1 year. That would be great. Show your support. And of course, sound off in the live chat, in the comments down below if you're watching us on demand. We got Armand here with us saying, hey now. We got Safet here with us saying, sup guys, what's going on? Good brother. And yes, we're here to discuss the NBA Finals. We're here to discuss the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. We've made it through the NBA playoffs, and we started with 16, and we are down to 2. How much are you looking forward to this year's NBA Finals between the Denver Nuggets and the Miami Heat, Romeo?
I like it a lot because it's not the Celtics and it's not the Lakers. Who wanted to see that again? These
The
guys are
NBA.
always in the finals. Yeah, the NBA,
The,
of course.
the NBA and me.
The rich get richer. The rich get richer. Good. I'm glad the ratings are gonna suck. Good. I don't care because for the true basketball fans out there who don't have a team in this, don't have a horse, you want to see the Nuggets and the Heat. Let's go. And either way, no matter who wins, this is huge for somebody's legacy. Huge. Whether it's Jimmy Butler or whether it's Nikola Jokic, somebody's legacy is getting big stamp on it.
Yes, indeed. And we're here to discuss that. But before we get into the NBA Finals, we got to discuss what went down in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. It was a tale of two different series with the final four of the NBA playoffs, where you had with the Denver Nuggets and the Los Angeles Lakers, the miracle run of the Los Angeles Lakers. My Los Angeles Lakers came to an end in a 4-game sweep. Each game we were in there in the fourth quarter pretty much for every game. It came down to just a few possessions other than game 3, really. I believe the game 3 was like the only one where they kind of put us away early on in the fourth quarter, but we were in every single matchup. But the Denver Nuggets were just the better team. They were the deeper team. They have gelled over the past year. They were the number 1 seed in the West for a reason, and that came through. That and Nikola Jokic proved himself to be the best player on the court averaging a 30-point triple-double in the 4-game series with the Denver Nuggets and Los Angeles Lakers. Give us your overall thoughts on the series. What did you think about Nikola Jokic outperforming both Anthony Davis and LeBron James? LeBron James dropping 40 points, nine rebounds, 9 assists in the game 4, the decider that came down to the final possession. Overall, what was your thoughts on the Western Conference Finals?
Probably a lot more easier for the Nuggets than I anticipated. I think I had them in like 5 or 6 games.
You had
But
6.
okay, but the better team won. Um, Jokic was outstanding. They for a second there they did slow him down by when they changed up their strategy of putting Rui on him and then having Davis to come help. But then Jokic, he's so smart. Like he was able to figure his way around that. He's a great passer. He sees the court beautifully. And these guys were knocking down three after three after three. All the role players of Jokic all did their job. For the Lakers, it wasn't the worst sweep in the world. Like they had their moments where they looked good and you thought they could steal some games. LeBron James, I don't know why he fell in love with the 3-point shot, especially late in games. Like drive to the lane, be LeBron, but he fell in love with that three and it was not dropping. Um, Austin Reeves, I thought was great. Again, like this guy, he became he became quite the player this postseason, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with him this offseason. Um, Anthony Davis was okay. Um, yeah, the better team won. What can I say? Yeah,
Yeah, I can't deny it anymore. I tried to be confident, believe in my Los Angeles Lakers going into here, but it was always going to be a tough matchup for us. The Nuggets had been the #1 team. They had a longer time to kind of gel throughout this whole regular season and into the playoffs, and they proved themselves to be the more dominant team, and that is why they were able to sweep the Los Angeles Lakers. And Nikola Jokic, man, there's no denying he's the best player in basketball now. Like he's made it to the NBA Finals. That was kind of the only thing that was kind of a monkey on his back throughout this whole thing. And in the Western Conference Finals, he averaged 28 points per game, 1 block, 1 steal. He averaged 12 assists and 14
12
and 12 assists and 14 and a half rebounds. So a 28-point triple
monstrous.
double, monster numbers, 50% from the field, 47% from 3. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Do you have
At
Jamal
times,
Murray's numbers too? Because
yeah,
Murray was
Jamal
insane.
Murray Jamal Murray was the difference maker because it was really wasn't really a one-on-one type of thing between Anthony Davis and Nikola Jokic, despite it looking like that in game 1 where both guys had monster games. It was really down to who was the dynamic duo that was going to perform the other, and it turned out to be Jokic and Murray. Murray averaged 32 and a half points per game. Uh,
It felt like
uh,
a all in a half.
Seriously, 3 steals. He averaged 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and the shooting numbers were just ridiculous and off the charts. He averaged 53% from the field for a
Oof.
guard and 40% from 3. And the
Oof.
dude took 9 threes per game, and he made 4 of them. He
Oof.
averaged 4 a game.
Incredible. And by the way, where was D'Angelo Russell? Did he know the Western Conference Finals started?
Don't get me started on D'Angelo Russell, who, like I just gave you Jamal Murray's numbers, right? 32 and a half points per game. D'Angelo Russell averaged 6 points per game. His plus minus was negative to negative 12. Uh, Jesus Christ. He only averaged 3.5 assists, and then his shooting numbers were abysmal. He averaged 32% from the field and 13% from 3.
Yeah. Yeah. The Lakers needed
Disgusting.
everybody. He didn't help.
And like you said, Austin Reeves had a great series. He
Oof.
averaged 21 points per game on Jeez, on 55% from the field and 56% from three. One of the greatest true shooting percentages for anyone in a Western Conference Finals.
Hey, that guy opened my eyes. You know, he's a baller now, and whatever team he's gonna be on he's gonna help out.
100% agree with you. I think Austin Reeves really filled the void for us, and he became like the third best player on the team gradually, like in that stretch where we were in the 13th place and we had to play ourselves into the play-in spot and played ourselves all the way up into a playoff spot. Basically, if there wasn't a play-in, even we would have been the 7th seed anyway. So yeah, he proved himself then, and then throughout the playoffs, he just the him game against Memphis Grizzlies, played his heart out against the Golden State Warriors, outplayed Klay Thompson against the Golden State Warriors. That was an accomplishment within itself. And then in the Western Conference Finals, he was probably the second most consistent player. He was probably the number one most consistent player, because despite Anthony Davis and LeBron James, having great numbers themselves, LeBron averaged 28 points per game, 10 assists, 9.5 rebounds. He shot 52% from the field, but 27% from three. That's not gonna cut it at all. Anthony Davis had a good series with he was averaged 27 points per game, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, one steal, and 3 blocks. So Anthony Davis had himself a very good series, but he just couldn't outplay Jokic. And I think Reeves outplayed most of the guards outside of Jamal Murray on the Denver Nuggets. So Austin Reeves done earned himself whatever contract number he wants this offseason. Like, I think the Lakers need to focus on re-signing Austin Reeves, re-signing Rui Hashimura, and getting D'Angelo Russell. We can get rid of him now. I was after the Golden State series, I was like, all right, we gotta find a way to keep all of these guys, keep our core, but you can get rid of him. And if that's enough money to go out and get Kyrie, I wouldn't mind now. If we could still keep Rui and Austin Reeves and then get a Kyrie or get a better point guard option than D'Angelo, that is what the Lakers
That'll be
need
the
to put
challenge.
them to put themselves in position to at least make it back to the conference finals.
That'll be the challenge, putting all those pieces together while getting Kyrie. You might have to sacrifice a piece to fit Kyrie in. So we'll see.
I would say Rui more than I would say Reeves is the out of all the guys that we need to keep, Reeves is the number one option.
I don't know. I think if you get Kyrie, you can afford to lose Reeves.
I still wouldn't want to
I know
lose
you. I
Reeves.
know you. I know you fell in love. You fell in love. Like this guy. I
Him,
want this guy to be our guy now.
him, him. He got it in his veins, man. Got it in his veins. And I do agree, kid get money, even though it's my team. Western Conference Finals feels like it was done like
An
a month
eternity ago.
because over on the other side end of the spectrum, with the Eastern Conference Finals, it looked like that series was going to be done after 3 games, because Miami went into Boston. They won the first 2 games. They had a commanding 2-0 lead heading back into Miami. They win game 3. They have a 3-0 lead. Everybody was basically saying that Boston was dead to rights, and then Boston wins game 4. Then Boston goes back to Boston.
They let us win one. Don't let us win another.
Don't let us win another. They won another. They finally won a game in Boston. Then they go into Miami in one of the best overall games of the whole NBA playoffs, game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals, coming down to the last possession. They try to go for a 3, they miss, and Derek White hits the game winner for them to steal game 6, and they were tied 3-3. Everybody said that Boston Celtics were on the precipice of history against an 8 seed. They could have done it. They could have become the first team in NBA playoffs history to come back from an 0-3 deficit to win a series. But they basically gave up in the first quarter. Like, Miami went on a run where they were up 27-15, and I don't think the game ever got close again. It was just a dominating performance by the Miami Heat, proving themselves to be the better team. They had dudes that were probably mechanics like 3 months ago, hitting threes all over the place. Caleb Martin nearly won the Eastern Conference MVP with his performance in Game 7. Gabe Vincent hitting threes. He's been like a sleeper, a sleeper that no one expected to be such a big contributor for the Miami Heat throughout this playoff run. And Jimmy Butler probably kind of solidified his legacy, because when you think about, all-time greats, there's numerous all-time greats that's never won a championship, but there's also all-time greats that only won to one NBA finals. And I think of like someone like a Reggie Miller, who I consider one of the all-time great shooters, one of the greatest Indiana Pacer of all time. He only went to one NBA finals. Jimmy Butler is now in his second NBA Finals. He's a guy that has had a 40-point triple double, a 30-point triple double in the NBA Finals back in the bubble in 2020, and now as an 8 seed, he has made it to the NBA Finals. And I've been saying it for this whole playoff run since they beat the Milwaukee Bucks, but I'm here to end the debate. The Miami Heat is the greatest 8 seed in NBA playoff history. Yes, they have surpassed Romeo's 1999. Yes, they have. Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
On the
They,
8th seed. On the 8th seed. You know why, right? Let's put it like this. As when the season ended, Miami was a 7th seed. They lose a game, the playing game, to become the 8th seed.
Hey,
It's a little a
seed,
little
the
asterisk.
greatest eighth seed in NBA playoffs history. It don't matter how they got the eighth seed. It just matters that they were the eighth seed, the greatest eighth seed in NBA playoff history, beating the Milwaukee Bucks in 5, beating the Knicks in 6, and then beating the Boston Celtics in 7 games. And now they make it to the NBA Finals. What have you thought about Miami Heat's run? And where do you see Jimmy Butler's legacy now? Because I view him, he has a seat. He has not only a seat, he has a table, Romeo, at Club Superstar. He needs to be considered a superstar and put some respect on Jimmy Butler's name.
Listen, Jimmy Butler was awfully close to letting that all slip away. Awfully close. That game 6, man, he was like afraid to shoot the ball. He was that off of his game.
Yeah.
But then somehow at the end of the fourth quarter, something overcame him. Was like, all right, I gotta start shooting, because if I don't, we're toast. He got that 3-point shot with the foul. He made those free throws, incredibly clutch free throws, and that finish was one of the wackiest finishes. Maybe second to the Derek Fisher finish of past times. Listen, I give Butler all credit in the world. He has overachieved this year with this team. Um, things have broken out pretty good for the Heat as far as the first round, second round, the Giannis injury, getting the Knicks, and then Boston. No, they beat Boston fair and square. That was overcoming a lot of odds there. The way they
Yeah.
took 3 games in Boston. What the hell, Boston? What a wacky series. Um, the Celtics tried to feed off the Boston Red Sox mantra. Don't let us get one, we'll get another. Oh, they let us get 2, we might get another one. It couldn't happen to a better city to come back from 3-0 and then shit the bed in game 7. Shit the bed. I know Tatum got hurt early, rolled his ankle. That was unfortunate. That was like, wow, the first play. Jeez. But I think even if he's healthy, they're not overcoming Jaylen Brown's horrendous game 7 with 8 freaking turnovers. This guy wants to get paid this offseason. And I've stuck up for Jaylen Brown. At times, I've considered him better than Jason Tatum. I feel like he's more consistent.
Yeah.
But he threw my whole argument away with that performance. Just terrible. I'm so disappointed. Even though I'm not a Celtics fan, I was just, I stuck up for Jaylen Brown. And now he's going to want all this money. Probably going to get it. We'll see. Caleb Martin. Can we clap it up for Caleb Martin? Where the hell has he come from? He's pulling out Austin Reeves' impression, too. The
Word,
way
he
he's
is.
balling. Incredible performance by Caleb Martin. They're going to need him in these finals. I thought incredible response by Miami following Game 6. That heartbreaker. That is incredibly hard to take. Losing in that fashion, to come back 2 days later and win on the road in one of the most hostile environments, even though they've already won there twice, to do it again after that
Yeah.
deflating feeling in Game 6 says a lot about the leadership, says a lot about Butler, says a lot about Coach Spo. Coach Spo, after that Game 6 finish in his press conference, was like, I wish that game was right now. We wish that game was right now. We're going to go back in there. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to find a way to win that game. And he was right. Spostradamus. Incredible. And as far as the Celtics go, um, I I don't like Joe Mazzulla's philosophy. He's 3 or die. They asked him in the press conference if, do you think the Celtics were too reliant on the 3-point shot? And you could tell he was offended by that question. He just simply said no. And he just, like, next question. It's true. They're too reliant on the 3-point shot. Way too reliant. I liked them a lot better when they had Ime Aduka. How do you say his name? Adoka?
Yeah.
Yeah, he believed a lot more in, a balanced offense, defense. He played Robert Williams much more in the rotation than Mazzulla does. And Mazzulla
And
wants the
Robin
offense.
Williams was one of the better players in Game 7 for Boston.
He didn't get enough minutes this series because Mazzulla wants more offense on the court. When you've already got Brown and Tatum, how much offense do you need? And Smart. He wanted, Derek White out there. It proved right in the last possession, Derek White. But yeah, Robert Williams should have got more burn. You need more rebounding, more defense. You need that part of your team. It proved right for the Celtics last year. I don't know. Mazzulla, that's going to be interesting what they do with him. I'm sure he's going to stay, but I'm not in love with his philosophy and if it helps the Celtics or makes them better.
Yeah, I honestly, I was talking about it on FMC this week. I really feel like if they had a better coach, Boston is just a coach away. They're either a coach or a big man scorer away from winning the whole thing because
Like
they
if you
came
switch the
close.
coaches, if you switch Spo with Mazzulla, Celtics win.
Yeah, yeah. Spoelstra is the best coach in that was left in the playoffs after a certain point. Like I would say, even going into the playoffs, he's proved himself to be the best coach of this whole playoffs. Just
How about
how
this?
these
Go ahead.
I would just say, like, how he's made adjustments after losses, and you saw that in Game 7. He's proven himself, and he's come such a long way as well. Because I'm old enough to remember when he got the spot with the Heatles, and everybody was like, "No, Pat Riley needs to
Yep.
just take over." Just like they was treating him like his name was Stan Van Gundy back in 2005, and Coach Spo proved himself then, was able to get them on the same page, put the ball in LeBron's hand more, and they were able to win 2 championships. But this is probably the greatest accomplishment. This whole playoffs run is the greatest accomplishment of Spoelstra's whole career.
I agree. How about this? How about if the Celtics had their old coach? Do they win the
In
series?
Doku, yeah. I think if they had Ime Doku, they would have won the series.
I agree.
It's sad, but it is true. I still, like I said, I think Boston, if they are going to keep Joe Mazzulla, the thing that they need is a big man that can score. Use the pieces that they do have to make a trade. I don't think they should go out and seek a trade for Jaylen Brown, but if it takes putting Jaylen Brown in some type of package to get a big man, like I say, Carl Anthony Towns, someone who could put the ball in the basket, whether it be inside in the post or outside, kind of a stretch four, or a big or a center who can hit from outside. I think that's what they need.
I agree. I I don't want Cat nowhere near any of my teams. Like he ain't got that dog in him. I don't think. It's just I want to stay in that contract. Oof, 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 oof.
It's a lot,
It's
yeah.
a, oh man, it's an albatross.
Yeah, and so, like, Chase is even calling in. Chase is a Minnesota Timberwolves fan,
Yes. So
saying Brown for Cat SMH. He also says Spoelstra these last 3 years has proven he is one of the best ever. I don't know if he's one of the best ever. I think that it depends. I think this series will put him. I don't think he's on the best ever tier. Is your Popovich, is your Phil Jackson, is your Pat Riley, your Red Auerbach. Like, it's a very select few that you could put in that best ever stature. But I think Spoelstra is on that tier just below them. He's not on the S tier. He's on the A tier
And
right
he's still
now.
got a lot of time. Like he's still young.
Yeah. Yeah, he can. He can. And this right here is the perfect opportunity to solidify himself at that either fringe S tier or even on that F tier if they're able to pull the greatest upset of all time in these NBA finals. I mean, Jimmy Butler, like I said, what do you think about Jimmy Butler and the run he's been on, where I really feel he's kind of solidified his status and his legacy with this playoff run, that he is a bona fide superstar. He might not be able to put up the superstar numbers in the regular season, but the way he has upped his game in the postseason, it's one of a kind. I don't think there's ever been any superstar or any star player on any team who has taken himself from right here to right here in an NBA playoff run like this.
Yeah, he's definitely like enough of a superstar where if you're the Sixers, you're like, Tobias Harris? What the hell are we doing? He's definitely at least that much of a superstar. Um, hey, how about Jalen Brunson's run this playoffs, huh? Huh?
Oh
You think
God.
he's got in there? You think he's got in there?
He was in my opinion he should have he was most improved player of the year, and he proved himself to be the star player of the Knicks. But he wasn't a guy that a lot of people thought was a superstar, but didn't even become an all-star this year,
Yeah.
and then went to unimaginable heights in this postseason. 56 points on the best defensive team, the best team in basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks. Went into hostile territory, Madison Square Garden, got wins there before bouncing out the Knicks, and then beat the Boston Celtics when they had all the momentum in the world, coming back from a 0-3 deficit to even up the series, and then demolished them in Game 7. Like it's levels to this.
Man, let
Like
me
the
tell you
level
something.
you're talking about for Jalen Brunson is here. He went from here at the beginning of the season to here to just here in the playoffs.
Yeah, incredible
Jimmy
playoffs.
Butler went from here to here in these playoffs.
He was just one man. Brunson was just one bad turnover at the end of that game, the incredible game of forcing a game 7, and maybe the Knicks come back from 3-1. We saw the Heat had it in them too to choke a 3-0 lead. They almost choked a 3-1 lead too. So yeah, but no, all the credit in the world to Jimmy. Let's see. I'm sure he's going to get his stats in this finals for sure. If he wins, then yep, stamp of approval, superstar, and what a legacy. That'll be like a Dirk Nowitzki like run, as far as like Dirk overcoming a finals that he shouldn't have won, and it'll be on that level of an upset. Um, I think you could also compare it maybe to the Pistons Lakers, that kind of upset maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be in that conversation with Pistons over Lakers or Mavericks over Heat for like one of the bigger upsets in NBA Finals history if he's able to do it. Good question here from Chase is, where does Butler rank for y'all as far as current players? Top 10, top 5? Definitely not top 5. I think the number 1 is Jokic right now. Then Giannis, then I would still say LeBron is in that top 5 now.
Embiid, Durant.
And I wouldn't say Durant's a top 5 player anymore. I'm sorry, the injuries is the thing that stops me. Embiid, we could say is a top 5, even though I feel like that is like Steph
I'm just
Curry is top 5.
I'm just listing players that I think are better than Butler right now.
Okay, yeah, yeah. We'll put with the. I said that's my top 5 is Jokic, Giannis, LeBron, Steph, Embiid. Then you said, who else did you say? Durant,
Did you say
um,
Luca?
Luca. So
More
that's 7.
Ja Warrant? You want to put Ja Warrant in there?
Nah, I don't. Yeah, he's got to do it in the playoffs. In the playoffs,
He
like
turns into
Jimmy
Jeff
has.
Hardy in the playoffs.
Exactly,
Just
exactly, exactly. So yeah, I put those 7 ahead of
he's top
Jimmy.
10.
Yeah, he might be like number 10, but he might just
Is he
because
better
of
than
this
Tatum?
playoff run. Tatum, I would put ahead of him. I would put Tatum ahead of him. Um, trying to think who else, because a lot of guys either
You
in
want to put
this
Lillard,
playoffs. No,
even though he didn't make the
I,
playoffs?
I would put Butler ahead of Lillard. I'd put Butler. There's a lot of guys that I'll put Booker ahead of
I was just about to say
Butler. Yeah, I put Booker at 9,
he's
and
better than
then
Mitchell.
yeah, he's better than Mitchell. He's
He's better than
better. He's better than Kawhi now.
SGA.
Ooh, that's a good one. But yeah, I'll put Butler ahead of him. I got Butler at number 10. We came up with 9 players that are better than Butler.
Fox.
No, not yet. He's getting there. But I'll put Jimmy at 10. Jimmy is top 10 now.
That's fair.
I when I first saw that question, I was like top 15, but when you just went through a bunch of the names, I'm like, yeah, he's gotten past a lot of people with this playoff run. Uh, Kawhi, Paul George, Dame Lillard. Like he's gone past a lot of guys that I probably at the beginning of this season I would have put ahead of Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, and injuries have to be a concern because I'm not putting Kawhi or George as high as
No,
some of these guys who stay healthy.
exactly. Exactly. It's too consistent with how they get hurt.
Yeah,
So I can't put them in there anymore.
all the time.
Uh
Yeah,
yeah, they're all the time. They are hurt. And it also depends on your team. Like I would and another guy that gets hurt, and this is someone I'm very high on, I would say Anthony Davis is like fringe top 10 now.
yeah.
He's not a solidified guy that I would put ahead of Jimmy Butler. So that's why I
Top
say
10
Jimmy.
talent, not top 10 consistency.
Exactly. So I would say Anthony Davis is like top 15. He would probably be by number 11, right
Shit,
behind
he has
Jimmy
top
Butler now.
5 talent, for being
Yes,
honest.
yes. I said it at the beginning of the season. I was like top 5 MVP candidate,
MVP campaign.
Anthony
Where'd he
Davis. I
finish in
was
the
ready.
voting? Where'd he finish? I don't
He
even know.
probably didn't even get a vote. He didn't get a vote for DPOI. He should have got one for DPOI. But hey, yeah, Jimmy Butler has solidified himself as a top 10 current player. But he can kind of rank in maybe the top 30, top 40, maybe even top. I would say definitely top 50 all time if he's able to finish the job in these NBA finals. So Romeo, let's get to our prediction.
Yes.
What do you see how the NBA finals will play out?
There's a lot I want to say about this NBA Finals. Um, the Heat, they're the underdogs, clearly. Going into the series, it says something that series they just went through was so grueling as far as like exerting a lot of energy and emotion mentally. And now they're going into this high altitude known as Denver. I expect Denver's got a lot of rest. I think it's going to be game one. I think it's going to be very rusty. I think it's going to be probably badly played by both teams. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think it'll be a rough first half. But let me give you a couple stats here. Teams with a more than 5-day rest advantage at home in the NBA Finals are 8-1 in game one. Also, um, they're 8-1 just in the NBA Finals as far as winning the whole thing. Do you know who the one is?
Who's the one?
The Utah Jazz against the Last Dance Bulls. They were going into force greater than anyone's ever known. Nikola Jokic. This is his chance. It's right there in front of him to cement his legacy. The Lakers had the personnel to at least slow down Jokic, but it didn't last long, as we saw.
Yeah.
He eventually got back to dominating because he's so smart. He's just so smart out there, the way he sees the court. The Heat, to me, don't even have the personnel to even try to slow down Jokic. To try. The Nuggets, they're gonna knock down the open threes. Even if by some miracle they can double Jokic, he's gonna find the open man. They're gonna drain him. So this is the biggest chess matchup for Spo in his career, probably. One of the greatest challenges that I don't even think he could come up with the answer. And Coach Mike Malone, This is a lot for him too, because in the Lakers series, he was able to portray to his team that even though they're the one seed, he was able to put a chip on the shoulders of the team by saying everybody's talking about the Lakers, everybody's talking about
Yeah.
Braun. They don't give you your respect. Um, Even after they win, the all the media is talking about the next day is LeBron hinting at his retirement? They weren't even talking about the Nuggets victory. So I'm sure he was able to use that as motivation too for this NBA Finals. Oh, they don't want to see you here. They wanted to see the Lakers. They don't want to see you here. But in this scenario, he's actually facing a damn underdog. The Heat.
Yeah.
No matter, it's going to be hard to spin that psychologically that they're the underdog anymore. He could say that maybe people don't want to see the Nuggets, but the Heat are the underdog here, and that's where Spo can use to his advantage for the team. Continue the underdog role. They obviously thrive in it, so that'll be big for them. I think the biggest key to the series for the Heat is Bam Adebayo, because I know their shooters are going to shoot. Vincent, Struce, Duncan, Caleb. Bam, he needs to help defensively as much as he possibly can on Jokic. The boards, he's got to get boards. He's got to contribute some offense. He needs to be on his best possible A game. He's got to stay out of foul trouble, because if he gets 5 fouls and he can't be on the court, you're toast. Forget about it. You don't have a chance. Caleb Martin needs to keep being that consistent third guy, maybe even second guy. I'm not expecting much from Tyler Hero if he returns. That's asking a lot to be out that long and contribute right away, but he does make the bench stronger.
Yeah.
I think the Nuggets are just the far better team. They have the personnel. They're taller than the Heat. They're going to get the rebounding. And I don't think Jokic is letting this escape him. Nobody could stop him. He's the best player in the world. As great as Jimmy Butler has been, Jokic is just that much better. And this is all about him. I got the Nuggets in 5.
This might be a first time. I actually agree with you
Wow.
100%. I got the Nuggets in 5 as well. I think Jimmy Butler is good enough to get one game. And this is not me talking from the heart, because my heart wants Jimmy
You would
Butler
root
and
against the
my
Nuggets.
and yeah. No, it's not even about the Nuggets beating the Lakers. It's about the Miami Heat, who really, I became a Jimmy Butler fan when they took us to the limit in that bubble finals. They weren't we were beating everybody in 5 games, and they forced the game 6. They had that right there, and it was off of Jimmy Butler, one of the greatest games of his career, that 40-point triple double in the NBA finals that forced that game 6. And I became a Jimmy Butler fan. And when a lot of people were down on the Miami Heat and Jimmy Butler heading into these playoffs, I was like, no, we can't sleep on playoff Jimmy. Playoff Jimmy is a real thing, and he has proven my words as prophet. Like, I feel like a prophet, as I said all of that, and even I didn't believe they could beat the Milwaukee Bucks, but I believe Jimmy Butler would force them to win some games in that series. I did not foresee them making it this far. I would love to see them complete the miracle one, complete the Cinderella story that has been the Miami Heat in these playoffs. It's more about that than, being mad at the Nuggets for beating us when we weren't even really supposed to be there. The Los Angeles Lakers, we weren't supposed to be in the conference finals. We were playing with house money anyway, and we were facing the number 1 seed with a 2-time MVP. So my mind says Nuggets in 5. My heart wants the Heat in 7. I would love to see the Heat complete the story, but I'm going to go with my head on this one and say Nuggets in 5. I say Jimmy Butler will get them one in Miami, but I think that the Nuggets are just too deep. They don't have this is not the right matchup for the Miami Heat. And if Bam Adebayo, like you said, and like Chase is agreeing with you, is the key. He was like, the dude can be dominant, and they also need some help from Kevin Love. Love still a rebounding big. I don't think that's enough. I don't think that's enough for what they have with the Denver Nuggets, because you mentioned all the other guys. Aaron Gordon is a key guy for them as well, because he can hit the ball from the outside. He can offensive rebound. He can work on the inside. I think that they just have too much offense, too much defense for the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat don't have the personnel to deal with them, and they don't have that perimeter defender who can shut down Jamal Murray.
Who's going
So
to stop him?
yeah, all of that. Yeah, they don't have anyone on their team that can compete with what Jokic can do, and they don't have anybody on the perimeter that can deal with Jamal Murray can do. And then on top of all of that, you have Michael Porter Jr. who can go off at any time. They're just way too deep of a team that
KCP
that
and Brown. They've been great these playoffs.
I don't see this series going that long. I see a lot of people saying Nuggets in six, like Armand. I don't see it going that long. I think the Miami Heat will be happy and lucky to even get 2 games
Uh,
in this
and the
series.
Nuggets have been incredible at home. They haven't lost a game yet. Still,
Yes.
I think.
No.
Uh, I think they're winning the first two at home. I think Miami takes game three on Pride, and the Nuggets steal game four and close it out in five.
Yeah. That's how I see the series going as well. We got Chase in the chat who says, if Jokic wins, is he ahead of Giannis all time? I'm gonna say right now, no. He's not, because Giannis is not only a two-time MVP, he's a Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis became and got the moniker of best player in the world because he's the best player he could be the best player and most dominant player in the world on both sides of the court. That was the one thing that I say is the only hang up with me giving the complete crown of best player in the world to Jokic. I think Jokic is so phenomenally great on offense that he is the best player in the world, but to make him all time on a higher standing than Giannis, he has to pick it up on defense. And I don't see even, a chance for him to prove that in these NBA finals, because Bam Adebayo has been so inconsistent. It's not the Bam Adebayo that I think of as an all-star player, as someone that I would love on my team. He's not that player. So I don't see this win for Jokic putting him higher on the list than Giannis, but it does put him higher on the all-time list than he is already, just not
Right.
higher than Giannis, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Giannis is still better. I think Giannis's finals where he won would be more impressive than this one.
Yes.
But you know what? The thing about this argument is that they're both still young, both of them. They
Yes.
still have so much longer to go. Like it's incredible how like we're not even probably halfway through their careers. Like they still got a lot.
I would love for that to be like the NBA finals in like a year or two or not from now.
Yeah,
It
people
is
worrying about what happens when LeBron leaves. Like there's still a bunch of good guys in the NBA to freaking take over.
Yeah, the NBA is fine. You got Jokic who's young, you got Giannis who's still young. All Luca has to do is get all Mark Cuban in Dallas has to do is put a team around Luca, or Luca decides to leave and join a championship team, and he'll be in that conversation of where he ranks all time. The NBA is going to be perfectly fine. We are slowly but surely moving out of the LeBron era. We're slowly but surely actually moving past even the guys that were like just behind LeBron in the race, like the Kawhi Leonards and the Kevin Durant's and the Steph Curry. I think Steph has a good maybe 3 4 years, maybe yeah, 3 or 4 years where he's still that guy or can still have the performances like he did in Game 7 against the Sacramento Kings. But we're slowly but surely getting out of that era as well, and now it's the era of the Jokic, the Giannis, the Luca, those guys.
And who knows what this kid in this upcoming draft's going to be?
Victor Wembanyama. I think the San Antonio Spurs. I would not be surprised if they gonna be here. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder is another one. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder gonna be in the mix in another 2 3 years. They gonna be in the mix in the Western Conference. Like the NBA's got a bright future. All we need is John Moran to put down the clock and pick up a basketball.
Oh man.
We'll be perfectly fine, guys. But yes, we both got the Nuggets in 5, and of course, NBA Finals MVP. We're both going for Nikola Jokic.
We saw with the Eastern Conference Finals, even if Jokic like doesn't play his best, they're gonna give it to the lead guy, the superstar. But Jokic is gonna play the best. This is gonna be a barbecue chicken alert for Nikola Jokic. He is gonna average a triple double easily. His numbers are gonna be astronomical at the end of the series.
I see a 30-point triple double. He averaged
Woo!
28-point triple double in the Western Conference Finals. He's going for a 30-point triple double in these
30,
NBA Finals.
30, 13, and 12 is what he's gonna average.
I can see that. I can see that. We got Chiller with Chase saying Aaron Gordon going to be a frustrating challenge for the Heat because Jokic loves these backdoor cuts to him, and I don't see anyone on the Heat who can be able to stop him. If they make the adjustment of putting Bam, if they could find someone who could just be a big body against Jokic, and then Bam can roam and guard Aaron Gordon on these cuts, I think that's their best chance. But I don't know any of the bigs on on the Miami Heat right now.
It's
Um,
Zeller, and fuck, who's the other guy? Yeah, it's the no chance.
yeah,
Jokic is
Armand
gonna
saying
eat him alive.
the Heat bench needs to steal a game.
Yeah,
The Heat
game
can
three.
have those players who can do that. And then we got Kid Get Money saying it's going to be Paulo Banchero era. They need more in Orlando for that to be a thing too. But yes, that brings us to a close on our NBA Finals preview. True Heel
Let me read
Heat
this
Check
poll.
number 8.
I asked you guys who wins. 44% of you the lead Nuggets in 6 or 7. 33% Heat in 6 or 7. And 11% each for Heat in 4 or 5 or Nuggets in 4 or 5. So the over prevailing thought is Nuggets in 6 or 7 games.
So y'all got it one game more than what me and Romeo is predicting. Let us know in the comments down below if you're watching on demand. Give us your prediction for the NBA Finals. What you think? How many games it's going to go? Who you think is going to be the NBA Finals MVP? And what do you think about the teams that were in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals? What do they need to do in the offseason? What does the Lakers need to do to get back to this position and maybe back to the NBA Finals that they were in 3 years ago? What does Boston have to do to get back to the NBA Finals that they were in last year? Let us know in the comments down below. I want to thank Romeo for joining me on this edition of Tru Heel Heat Check. Romeo, please let the people know where they could follow you on social media, everything you got going on, sir, as this might be the final time they see you this week, as you're going to be a busy man.
For Romeo Anthony, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube channel. Subscribe, please. And join us for the Game 1 watch along, which it sounds like we're going to be doing tomorrow night. I may not be there. I'm celebrating my anniversary with the love of my life, but I believe Chris G and Sober Guy JJ are going to be here to take the reins and lead the way as they watch Sober Guy's team try to overcome the odds against the Denver Nuggets Game 1. Join us for that tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
That should be a good one. Stay tuned for that. We're not doing Blunt Impact over on twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Gaming, but I will make sure that we are gonna do that live stream, not only here on the True Hill Heat Sports YouTube channel, but you can also check it out on twitch.tv/True Hill Heat Gaming. So you'll get it both there. Also on the Facebook page, True Heel Heat over there. You can follow me on the Twitter machine at True Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at True Hill Heat. Of course, there's also patreon.com/True Hill Heat. Just for $3 a month, you got exclusive content. I'm going to be dropping in just a little bit the latest edition of the Raw Report with SP3, reviewing this week's WWE Raw. So you could check that out over there. You'll also have probably tomorrow we'll be dropping our NXT Battleground review over there on patreon.com/, Tru Heel Heat Gaming, and check out all the great content over on the Tru Heel Heat Wrestling YouTube channel. We had roundtable reviews for all the major shows from this past week. We had our WWE Night of Champions review with me, Romeo, and Chrissy Love. We had our AEW Double or Nothing roundtable review with Romeo, Josh, me, Ness, and special guest Tempest of Wrestle Talk. And check out right now on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel our NJPW Best of Super Juniors 30 review, where I discuss the whole tournament, my tournament MVPs, must-watch matches that are not really being talked about. We also had a run-in from Scott Edwards of Fightful and 5-Star Media, so check that out over there. But I want to thank Romeo once again. Shout outs to Chris G, the birthday boy this week, and shout outs to all of you in the live chat. We always appreciate the love right here. And remember to tell a friend to subscribe to Tru Heel Heat Sports.
Let me go through the schedule for the finals and let me see how the streaming will go here. We got Thursday. Game 2 is Sunday night, 8 p.m. I think we can stream that here. Game 3 would be Wednesday. We'll probably do the wrestling Dynamite stream while watching that. Friday is Game 4. I could see us doing a stream here. Game 5, if necessary, the closeout game, in my opinion, would be Monday, June 12th. I will ask SP3 if we could do a stream here on the sports channel and just do a Raw review the next day. I don't think there's anything important on Raw around that time. Game 6, if necessary, would be that Thursday. We could do that here on the sports channel. And if there's a Game 7, my goodness, it'll be Sunday, June 18th, 8 p.m.
Look at that. And there's no major wrestling shows in the
No.
evening on any of those Sundays. So they made the schedule out, but damn, Dynamite's gonna get killed on that
Oof, yeah.
on that one on next, what is it, next Wednesday?
Yes.
Oh man, they're gonna get killed. But yes, God bless to Tony Khan and AEW. I wish you Godspeed on that. But yes, we will be back with another edition of Tru Heel Heat Check at the end of the NBA Finals, wrapping up this season. Me and Chris G will, or me and Romeo, whoever it is, will go back to me and Chris G's preseason picks. I have that still saved. I have that still saved. I have our preseason picks and our midseason picks, and you can see how wrong we really were. But thank you to Romeo. It is me, your True Hope Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat Check number 8, our NBA Finals 2023 preview. We are signing off until next time.